Hey guys, D'Angelo, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a video that I haven't done in a really long time, and that is going to be a concert slash I don't even know, experience review video. I used to do these a lot a few years ago, back when I was going to a lot of different concerts, and I would I would go to the concert, I would film a video of me sharing my experience of it, showing you some photos, and just giving my overall thought and review on the concert and the artists that I saw. So I haven't done it for a while now. I think it's been over a year now since I've done it, but I figured that I would do it for the past few concerts that I've been to, since I have been to quite a few within the past few weeks. Today's video is going to be solely based on my experience at Lollapalooza. So I hope you guys enjoy, and let's just go ahead and dive right on in. So I'm gonna share you guys my experience with Lollapalooza. I went to the first 3 out of the 4 days of Lollapalooza, and this was my very first Lolla ever. I had never been to it before, so I didn't really know what to expect, and I honestly was kind of like a at the moment kind of thing of me buying my tickets, because I was debating on going since I hadn't gone the past year when TXT and Eugene's had come to Lolla. I wanted to see them, but then I didn't see them last year, so I was kind of debating on if I was even gonna go this year as well. But it was, one of the groups was StrayKids, and I really wanted to see StrayKids. And then I had already seen IVE before at that point, because I saw IVE when they went on their tour back in March, but they were there as well, and I was like, I kind of, I really enjoyed my time at IVE's concert, so I kind of wanted to see them again. And then also one other artist that was going to Lolla that I'm a big fan of that's not K-pop is Tate McRae. I love Tate McRae. I had really been getting into her music and her album Think Later at the time, so I was like, you know what, even though it's only 3 artists, I'm going to get tickets. So I initially bought tickets for the Friday and Saturday days. Those were the only 2 days I was going to be going initially. But a friend that I was going to Lolla with at the time, because I was initially going to be going with my mom, since she's obviously a K-poppy, so we were going to be going together, but she ended up having different plans for the Saturday, so I had 2 tickets each day, but she would only be going with me for Friday, so I wouldn't have anyone to go with on Saturday. I had an extra ticket, so I figured, well, why not invite my one really close friend at the time, and I invited her. And she was just fine with going with just Saturday, but then the one day she was like, wait a minute, I want to go on Thursday, because she wanted to see a certain artist. And I was like, I didn't really plan on it, but I looked at the lineup again on Thursday, and I was like, you know what, even though there's no K-pop artists, it's pretty decent, so I'm gonna go, and why not just YOLO it, just buy tickets. So I ended up getting tickets for the Thursday, the first day of Lolla, and then I also bought an extra ticket for Friday, so that way my friend could come with. Now this was back when the tickets first went on sale, so this was probably early to mid-May, I would say. I honestly can't remember when they went on sale, but I want to say that I had just gotten out of school at the time, so I want to say it was probably around that time frame. Well, then here, fast forward a month later, the friend that I was gonna be going with ended up treating me and my friend group not so nicely and stuff, and we were kind of all on edge with this one particular friend of ours. So me, as well as my one other friend, we were trying to talk to her to have a serious conversation, but she just didn't really understand. So I was just like, you know what, I'm just not gonna vibe with it, because it's gonna be there was still 2 months from now, shit can happen. It could either get worse or it could get better. So I just made the decision that I wasn't gonna be going with her anymore. So I ended up going with my friend Kevin, which honestly was probably the best decision, because he and I had gotten really close, and we hung out a lot over the summer, and we're still hanging out, but I figured that I would just bring him. And then it also worked out because he had a lot of friends that were at Lolla, that were going to Lolla, and had been to the previous Lollas for the past few years. So I was like, you know what, this honestly was a good decision to have him come along with me. So on Thursday, we saw quite a lot of people. On Thursday, we got to Grant Park around I want to say probably 11 o'clock ish. maybe a little bit before or after that, and we went in and oh my god, I was just overwhelmed because I didn't know what to expect. It was funny because the week before Lolla actually happened, me and a couple of my friends actually went downtown to Chicago, and we had decided, I was just like, oh, I asked them, like, can we walk by Grant Park since we were right by it, just to see how big of a park it is, because I've never been to Grant Park before. And when I tell you, it was a big park. It really had me, like, in shock, for real. So yeah, it was a really big park and everything, and there was a lot of people, and it was kind of overwhelming. But I will say Thursday, the first day, was probably the most overwhelming day. I would say that Friday and Saturday, surprisingly, even though like Friday I felt like had the best headliners, and then like Saturday also had like a lot of good like names and everything. I thought that those 2 days would be more busy than Thursday, but I turned out to be wrong. Oh my god, bro. Damn. The first artist that we saw on Thursday was Tyla. We saw her at the T-Mobile stage, and we didn't really get too close because we kind of waited last minute to get there, and I didn't really care like that much to get up that close to see her. So we didn't really get that really up close to see her, but we did get to like stand a little bit in some shade, so we weren't really in the direct sun for her, so it wasn't necessarily that bad on Thursday, at least for the like first few people that we saw. We finished and saw Tyla, then we left because we had like an hour in between, and then afterwards we went back to the same stage, the T-Mobile stage, and we ended up seeing Chappell Roan. Kevin and all of his friends are like a really big fan of her, and I mean I've listened to a couple of her songs, but I'm not like a crazy fan per se, but like I was like, you know what, like I can try and vibe, you know, like put me on Chappell, you know what I mean? So we went there, and we basically got the exact same spot that we got for Tyla, so basically like some shaded area, you know, by the one little like lounge that they had for T-Mobile. And like, let me just say, I thought that like we were in a not so good spot for Tyla and Chappell, but after looking at how big and how large Chappell's crowd was, like the fact that people like that it's like been said that Chappell has had the largest crowd ever recorded in Lollapalooza history is actually insane to me. So I felt like, even though I thought we were like pretty far away, I think we actually had a really decent spot for where we were for her. But yeah, so we saw Chappell, and then after Chappell, right across at the other stage, I forgot what the name of that stage was, but right across from where her stage was, Kesha was gonna start. And we were trying to get over in that area because we wanted to see Kesha, but it was so bad because the large ass crowd of people from Chappell were leaving, and then the people that were going to see Kesha were going against the crowd that was leaving from Chappell. So it just became really like overwhelming, and not gonna lie, I think that was probably the one part of my time at Lolla that I got kind of nervous that like we were gonna get like trampled on, or we were gonna get like in a stampede kind of situation. Of course, Kesha, she had to start, like she actually started I think like a couple minutes after the time she was supposed to start, because right when Chappell's set ended, she was supposed to start immediately, but she actually started a couple minutes later than what she was supposed to, but we still weren't even over there. So I have like literally like I'm trying to record like Kesha as like we're literally walking over to her area. But honestly, we weren't even in Kesha's crowd for real, because we were trying to get water and everything because it was really hot, and we just went over to get water, and then we had to sit down because we were standing for a really long time at that point. So we weren't like necessarily like in the crowd, so I didn't really like see Kesha, but we were able to hear her, and you know, I recorded some videos of her and her like a couple of her performances, so like I was kind of there but kind of not, if that makes sense. So we chilled there until Kesha was finished with her set, and then afterwards we decided that we were gonna head over to the middle ground of Grant Park, and we were going to go into the merch booth. And the merch booth, let me tell you, at least the big general one that was in the center of the park was the only place that was air conditioned. And I was like, oh, once we went in there, I was like, Lord, like I wish we could stay in here longer. But at that point, we only had like 25, maybe 30 minutes until we had to go see another artist I wanted to see, which was Flo. And they're a British girl group. I highly recommend checking out their music because they're really good. But yeah, we had like not even like 20 minutes, so me and Kevin ended up splitting from Kevin's friends, and you know, we got some shirts, we got some merch, but then we left and we literally ran across the park to get to the Bacardi stage to see Flo. And that stage was a little bit smaller. It was like one of the smaller stages. So, and it was kind of like hidden within like some trees. So it was like shade and everything. It was really nice. It was really nice. And I got some really good videos from that stage for Flo. With Flo, they started, I think, like probably like 5 or 6 minutes late past their time. And when they got up there, the first song, no joke to you, right when they put the microphones up to their mouths and they started singing, nothing was coming out. Their mics weren't working. So the entire first song, we couldn't hear them, and we were like, oh my god. After their first song, they all had to go off to the side to get their mics fixed, and we were like waiting like probably like another 5 minutes because of this issue. They come back up to perform their second song, and still wasn't working. We weren't hearing them. So we were all like, no, like, you know, like, stop it right now, like, this shit's not working. But then all of a sudden, their mics started working again. Like, we're literally able to finally hear them, and we were like, oh shit. So, and then they were like, oh, can you hear us? And we were all like cheering. So then after that, their set ended up going as normal, and it was really good. They were really good. And then because of Flo like having all those issues, they ended, I would say, probably like 10, maybe 13 minutes later than what they were supposed to. So then afterwards, we all rushed over back to the T-Mobile stage where we were, you know, earlier on in the day. And Kevin and I ended up watching Megan Thee Stallion, you know, Megan. She ended up performing. We didn't stay for her entire set though, because for Thursday, it was actually supposed to be raining that entire day, but the weather kept on changing throughout every hour of that day. So it was originally supposed to rain all day on Thursday, but then it actually wasn't supposed to rain until 10 o'clock, you know, for like the nighttime. So basically right when Lala ended for that day was when it was supposed to rain. So we were like, okay, like, Megan started at 9 o'clock. We'll stay for like half of her show, so 9:30 is when we'll leave. That way we not only like beat the rain, but we'll also beat the crowd. Well then, once it hits 9:30, we start walking, and then all of a sudden we just feel raindrops, and then all of a sudden it just starts pouring rain, and then everyone and their mother decided, well, we're gonna leave too because it's raining. And we're like, no, this literally like ruined our plan. But we were still able to, you know, get back because we were taking the train. I don't know if I mentioned that, but we were taking the train. There ain't no way in hell where we were gonna be driving from the city back to where we lived for 3 nights in a row. You know, that wasn't gonna happen. So we took the train all 3 days. So then the next day we ended up going with my mom. I took my mom along with us. It was the 3 of us. We took the train and we got around to Grant Park around the same time as me and Kevin did for Thursday for day 1. And for day 2, I could tell it was very much not as crazy compared to day 1. Honestly, I would say day 1 was probably because of Chaperone. Like, it was probably so packed and just so crazy because of Chapel. I mean, the girl had the largest crowd ever recorded in Lollapalooza history. So I feel like that was probably why it was so busy. Ended up going to the Tito's stage, which is right next to the Bud Light stage, which is the other main headliner stage. We ended up seeing Ray, which is so funny because I literally love her music and everything, but I didn't even know until after like probably like a couple weeks into me looking at the lineups that I was like, oh shit, she's literally going to Lala. Like, I didn't even know that. So, you know, originally I was only gonna be seeing StrayKids on Friday, but then I was like, shit, let's go see Ray, you know? Like, I love her and her music. I will say, amazing performances and amazing music. Like, I was so happy that she got to play Black Mascara, and then of course she was gonna play Escapism, and then she also played her new song Genesis, which I will be reacting to that soon on my channel because I heard the song but I didn't watch the video, so I will be checking that out on my channel soon. One thing though about her specific set was it was just such the heat and sun really got us for that like that stage and performance, because there were like several people around us that had passed out. Like the amount of times that people were screaming medical because people were passing out was actually so bad, and I actually got really badly sunburnt because of us standing there for Ray. So I didn't really feel it as much, and I didn't really see it as much, you know, for when we were standing. I was just like looking at myself for StrayKids because I just felt it all inside of my body. I didn't really see it. But then once we got home and I took a shower and I came out, and I was wearing this exact same tank top, like this tank top I wore, and when I took it off, I literally had the fucking like heat stroke, like sunburn, like you know like Yehao, that one like Chinese model with like the heat stroke like makeup photo shoot thing that he had going on. That's pretty much what happened with me, except, you know, obviously like I'm skinnier and it wasn't makeup, it was real, and it was actually hurting me. Kevin actually wasn't with us when we saw StrayKids. He actually went to go see SZA instead, because SZA was playing at the same time as StrayKids. So he was all the way at the other side of the park seeing SZA, and my mom and I were on the other side of the park seeing StrayKids. Before StrayKids was performing, my mom and I, we got to do a lot of the extra things that they had going on at Lolla that we didn't get to do the day before because we were so busy with our lineup. We got to go to the Dunkin' house, the House of Dunkin', which was pretty much like Dunkin' Donuts. They had like samples of like some of their newest flavors and everything, so we got to try that, and it was actually pretty good. It was some pretty good iced coffee. Like I'm not even a coffee person in general, but it was pretty good. Like I drink that shit up. And then we were able to get like a photo and everything in this photo booth and get like our like color picked out for us. It was really fun. Another thing we did was they had a liquid IV station, so we got to try some like slushies of some of their newest flavors, which was cotton candy and firecracker pop. And it was funny because my mom got the firecracker pop and I got the cotton candy, and neither one of us liked our own, but then when we tried each other's, like we both liked them, so then we ended up just like swapping drinks and like we just had those. I also did like a little like photo thing for that like station as well. It was really fun. Last thing that we did was we went to the Tic Tac lounge, and we went in there. It was like basically like a small little like house thing where you basically went in there and then you would just get like a bunch of free Tic Tacs, like all the different flavors that they had. It was really nothing too crazy, but my mom wanted to do it because she was like, I love Tic Tacs. So I was like, okay, let's do that. And then they had like cute little areas for us to take photos and everything, so it was overall really cute. Oh yeah, and then to get us out of the heat, we ended up going into the line for the merch booth, like the big one, and we were able to like go in there and chill a little bit in the AC. But we did get some stuff. I got a tote bag, my mom got a shirt, and then we got like a lot more stuff that day. So, and then the tote bag helped put, you know, I was able to put my StrayKids and Tate shirt in there, so that way I wasn't carrying it all around. Ended up leaving and we got food, and then I think we ended up showing up at the stage for StrayKids probably like 40-50 minutes early, and we actually got pretty like a decent spot considering like everyone showing up last minute. And like I looked back at one point during the night and I just saw the amount of light sticks and I was just like, oh, holy shit. So I feel like I was like in a pretty decent spot. Like I was in the middle, like we were right next to the sound booth and everything that they had going on. So I would say like not the best spot, but pretty decent considering we didn't like wait there or camp out there all day, you know? But StrayKids overall, amazing, oh my god, amazing performers. And like it was just, it looked so good. Like Bangchan, Hyunjin, oh my god, Hyunjin, my bias, he looked so fucking good. Felix too, like they all looked good. Like Han, Changbin, they all looked good. Felix at one point just like opened up his jacket and just let the abs out. So, you know, we were all losing our shit over that. They got to play the festival version of Chick Chick Boom, which I was super happy about because I really liked the festival version. I don't know why. It just kind of gave like Lollapalooza vibes. Like I felt like they made that version, that remix specifically for Lollapalooza. Like it was amazing. We ended up meeting Kevin at the train station because the crowds were just so crazy, and we ended up leaving a little bit later than what we did the first night, but we made it back home. Day 3, the final day that I was going to Lolla, we ended up going out to the city a little bit later because the only artist that we wanted to see really that was like the earliest was IVE, and they didn't start until 5 p.m. So we actually got to sleep in a little bit that day, thank God, and we got to take the train a little bit later, and we got to Grant Park probably around like 2, almost 3 o'clock ish. And you know, we met up with some of Kevin's friends again. You know, we got to hang out a little bit beforehand, and then we were able to get to the T-Mobile stage again because I was at T-Mobile, and we actually got pretty close up for IVE. I was like pretty shocked, and I mean, we were all kind of concerned a little bit because we were like, oh god, their crowd's not that big, so we were like, no. But then it was just because we showed up a little bit earlier than usual because everyone else was showing up, and then like I looked back, they had a pretty decent sized like crowd. Like it went past the sound booth and everything, so they had a good crowd, I would say. And IVE, once again, like I told literally all of my friends, like all of like Kevin and like I told Kevin and all of his friends, like IVE's gonna be good. Like their concert was amazing, and that was like a full ass like 2.5, almost 3 hour show. So just get ready for this 45-minute show because they didn't perform that long. They're gonna be cramming so many songs in these 45 minutes, and let me just tell you, this shit's gonna be good. I got to see Ascendio and Heya live for the first time, so I was really happy. I was really excited to see those 2 songs live because, you know, they didn't release them until after they came out to Chicago for their world tour, so I was really excited to see them perform those songs. Yujin, she was hitting the high notes and everything. She was having so much fun that she lost her hair. Like, I don't know if you guys saw that, like, on Twitter or anything, but, like, she had extensions in her hair, and then, like, she was going off so crazy that at one point, like, they literally just flew out, and then she literally, like, they were literally falling out, so then she just took them off, and then at the end, like, it was literally, like, their second to last song that they were performing was when they fell out, and then she was like, oh, you guys, I had so much fun today at Lolla that my hair fell off, but I love you guys. I was like, damn, that's so funny, but like I love that. And then it was really cool because for their intro, like when they were like, you know, trying to hype up the crowd before they actually came up to the stage, they played the Cupid video that they had, you know, like the I just want a little bit of peace, you know, like that song. They ate for Lollapalooza, that's all I gotta say. We ended up walking all the way to the other side of the park because then we had to go over to the other headliner stage, which was Bud Light, to see Tate McRae. And at that point, when I was at Tate McRae, I'm not gonna lie, I was like miserable. Like one of the main people I wanted to see, right, at Lolla, and I just couldn't really enjoy her set because I felt like I had a mix of feelings of like, I was like, my stomach was cramping, like I felt like I was gonna throw up, I thought I was gonna pass out, and I also felt like I was gonna like shit myself. Like it was like all those feelings into one, all in my body, and I just don't know if it was because of the heat. I don't know if it was because something I ate, because let's be for real, the food there for the most part was not that good. It was just like a mix of like a bunch of things. I don't know if I was dehydrated, I don't know what it was. And then like also like there were people that was like, they were like smoking weed and like all that shit, and like I hate the smell of that shit. Like I don't like it, so whenever I smell it, it gets me nauseous. So I don't know, maybe that was like a little bit of it too that kind of like got me overwhelmed. So miserable during Tate. Like I think like right when she performed her last song, which was Greedy, was when I started feeling better. So literally couldn't even enjoy her 1 hour show, but it is what it is. I got to record a lot of her videos and she performed a bunch of songs that I really enjoyed. So she opened with Think Later and I was like, oh, like it was so good. And then like it also kind of sucked because I couldn't really that crowd was just so overwhelming because we were pretty close. I would say we were probably a little bit closer compared to where we were for StrayKids. Like we were like in the middle area of the sound booth, and it was just such an insane crowd that I couldn't even like get like that much of her. I just like kind of gave up. Like I kind of got a little bit of her like when she first walked up to perform Think Later, but then after that, that was it. I just ended up recording the screen. She put on a really good show. Finally, the final artist that I saw for Lollapalooza was YOASOBI. YOASOBI, if y'all don't know, they're it's mainly it's technically like a J-pop band, but like they kind of focus more so on the main singer, you know, because she's the only one that sings. But I mean, they do have like a guitarist, bassist, producer. I think they had like a member that was on a keyboard and stuff. Like they have like there's like 5 or 6 of them total in the band, but like they mainly focus on like the singer herself, which like honestly valid, but like still though, like no, they were really good. They were at the Bacardi stage, the same stage that Flo was at, so it was a smaller stage, but they were, even though they weren't like technically like a headliner, they were one of the last closing like performances and shows. So we ended up going over to see them and they did an amazing job. They performed so many good songs and everything, so definitely a really good like artist and performers to kind of end and wrap up our Lollapalooza weekend. And yeah, after that, we ended up just leaving, went back to the train station, and then took the later train back, and that was pretty much the end of my Lollapalooza weekends. It was just really busy, and like I said, like besides Friday, I couldn't really do too much else like that was like outside of the actual concert aspects of it. But still though, it was a very fun time. I would just say that the weather, the heat, the sun really killed me. Although it's like I didn't want it to rain, I just wish it was probably cloudy so it wasn't like beating down on me so hard. But yeah, I would just say the weather and then just like the amount of people just like overwhelmed me. But it was still a really fun weekend. But I will say, if there are good artists next year, I will go. I just don't think I can do 3 days. Like I would say at most I'm gonna have to do 2, and if they're back to back, okay, but I would not want them to be back to back. Like that shit was just too difficult. Yeah, so that was overall like a big recap of my experience at Lollapalooza. Like I said, really enjoyed it, just don't know if I want to do it again. At least like, you know, but since it was my first Lolla, I'm like, you know what, might as well go all out and try and do as much as you can. And the lineup, I felt like in my opinion was pretty decent, at least for the first 3 days. That's why I got those tickets. So overall, a really fun time. So let me know if you guys, like if any of you guys did end up going to Lollapalooza. I don't know how many of y'all live in, you know, Chicago or live in Illinois or around the area, but if y'all did go, let me know if you did and like what your guys' experiences were. This was mine, so I hope that you guys enjoyed. And for those of you who obviously didn't go, I hope that you guys enjoyed just hearing a little TED talk of me, you know, because I haven't really had a video in a while where I just sat down and got to talk. I think all of my fan cam videos for StrayKids and IVE should already be out by the time this video is posted. I don't know if I'm gonna post all of my other videos of like the other artists that I saw just because like they're not K-pop. But if you guys want to see them, let me know and I'll definitely post them eventually on my channel. Just let me know down in the comments if you guys want to see them. That's all I have for you guys for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to comment, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. Follow my social media links in the description below, and I'll see you guys all in my next video. Bye guys!